Hey everyone, it's Richard Metal Fan here, bringing you guys a brand new 2020 album review. And today we're going to be looking into the brand new album from one of my all-time favorite bands. And as you can see by the title, today we're going to be looking into the new album from Sevendust entitled Blood and Stone, which was released today under Rise Records. Now, everybody should probably know or have at least heard of Sevendust. They're a band from my home state, from Atlanta, Georgia, and these guys have been around since 1994, so as long as I've existed, and I've been listening to Sevendust since I was about 13 years old, and they've pretty much been one of my favorite bands. I've seen these guys live 3 times, and they've been putting out albums since their self-titled debut album, which came out in 1997, and they've put out a bunch of albums since. And this is the band's 13th full-length album, and this is the follow-up to their last album, which came out in 2018, All I See Is War, which I thought was really great. But does this album live up or exceed what All I See Is War has? In my honest opinion, I think it definitely has. I feel like with every album, Sevendust always steps it up. I mean, they have like a formula that they stick with, but with every album, they do tend to experiment, especially with like Alpha was like heavy, and then there's some and then the Time Travelers and Bonfires, which is just an acoustic album. You could definitely tell they take a little bit of an approach or experiment with their sound. But with this album, this is pretty good. I've listened to it a couple times, and it's just so great. Let's just talk about the vocal work. The vocal work in general is pretty great, from LaJean Witherspoon. Like, I feel like LaJean, like, even since 97 onwards, he's just gotten better and better with each album. He definitely puts a lot of emotion into his singing. It's really soulful, it's really powerful. You can definitely feel what he's singing and just like the emotions that he conveys. And just when he does like his harsherish yells a bit, it sounds great. Same thing with like Morgan Rose, like doing sort of like backup screaming. I mean, it's definitely really up there. It really brings the songs like intense, especially with more heavier stuff. Guitar wise, Clint Lowry and John Connolly's guitar playing is just tight as ever. Just the riffs they come up with is pretty solid and pretty dope. The bass playing, I think it was pretty audible. I think Vinnie Hornsby definitely stepped it up. And drumming wise, Morgan Rose is really great. One of my favorite drummers. And I'm not even a drummer myself, but damn, he's pretty good. So, without further ado, let's dive into this album track by track. Now, starting things off is Dying to Live, which I think is a great way to start off this album with just pounding big drums and great guitars. It's just pissed off, angry. Yet it has a bit of a groove to it, and it's definitely catchy song. It's a really great way to open up this album. And then we lead into the next song, which is called Love, which has a bit of an electronic little bit sound to it. It is definitely noticeable as the song goes on. It pretty much gains strength as a progressive. It has momentum and aggression, and the chorus has a big sound, and the vocals really just add power to it. Then we move on to Blood from a Stone, which starts off with the cleanish guitar, and then the whole band comes in as just a very rockin' song. And LaJean's voice just sounds really great here, and the chorus is also really good, and it has a great catchiness to it. Then Feels Like Going On. It starts off with a little bit of a bass intro from Vinny, and it just goes through each of the like pre-chorus, and I feel like the song personally is really thought out, and the chorus is a bit melancholy, and it pretty much gives the song a very dark mood to it, and I feel like that's really what makes that song pretty much stand out to me. What You've Become. Now this song has a really great chorus, and that's the one thing I like about Sevendust is they pretty much have like a chorus that you sing along to. It's like with any song from like any of their albums, you once you hear that chorus, you just sing along to it. Next song on the album is called Kill Me. And it kind of opens up with a pretty much a darker kind of tone and vibe, and I pretty much like how it plays with it lyrically, and the vocals pretty much direct the song and pretty much where it needs to go. And the guitars also provide a bit of a heavier edge, and the chorus is pretty melodic. Nothing Left to See Here Anymore, and I feel like this is pretty much the most different from what we've heard so far, and it just feels like it stands out, and I feel like through and through it sort of like brings a lot of like drama and expression, and I just think it's a great song. Desperation. Now this is a damn heavy song, and it just really gets you pumped when you first hear it. Criminal, and this song I feel like is a lot more quieter and has a bit more of a like an emotional tone to it, but never in such a way it's just like greasy tea, or yeah, I don't know, but it has a lot of substance to it. Against the World. Now, this song is pretty melancholic. You could definitely feel the vibe with it, both musically and lyrically. And the heaviness in the guitars and the drums move in so well, and it really pushes the song forward and makes it flow well and very consistent. Alone. And I feel like this song, Lejean, injects a lot of energy into everything he sings, and this is no more apparent with this song. And then the rest of the band create it. It allows sort of like a space in which Jean's voice can shine, and I feel like the emotional response that he pretty much conveys is really great, heartfelt and powerful in his range. Wish You Well, I thought it was a pretty okay song. I don't know, it's just okay. And then the album closes with The Day I Tried to Live. Now, this was actually the first single, and it was actually a cover song originally done by the great Soundgarden. Then I feel like it's sort of like a tribute to the late great Chris Cornell, rest in peace. And I pretty much love Sevendust's takes on this song. They pretty much did their own thing here and not try to like emulate anything from the original. They just made it their own like spin on it, which I think is pretty good when bands do cover songs. They just pretty much they look at it and they not try to like do an exact carbon copy, but just try to like add their own little mix to it and little twist to it. And I thought it's pretty unique. Now, overall, Blood and Stone by Sevendust is a great album. A good follow-up to All I See Is War. So if I were to give this album a score, I'm going to give this album a solid 8.5 out of 10. So yep, that's my review of Blood and Stone by Sevendust, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the album, and I'll see you all in the next video. And as always, keep it metal.